I think that's it's a fairly devastating story because it is clear. I think there's one line in there that said no one person sort of had purview over the entire project. Look, I work very closely with a woman that's mentioned that story, Nancy Ann DeParle, who is fabulous, and she's not a political aide to the president. She was a health care aide. I think part of the problem was Nancy actually got promoted to deputy chief of staff for policy and taken away from the day-to-day of health care. But there's no doubt that whether it's at HHS, CMS, inside of the White House, I mean, the results now after the first month are fairly clear.
Right.
That nobody was in charge of this project full time because, as was mentioned, I think in the lead-in, you've got 6 people that have that signed up on the first day, according to reports. And I do agree with what David Axelrod said in that, you know, the cancellations have been exacerbated by the fact that you can't get on the website to find out what the alternative would be. In many cases, you'll qualify for subsidies that for a better health care policy. So it's been exacerbated by the fact that you can't find out what's going on because the website's a disaster.
Robert, you're a communications guy, and you were there. How could the president say, when you know that 5% of the people, and 5% is obviously it's a small part of the story, and overall the impact, if you believe in this law, is better than what happens here, but it's millions of people. You know what's going to happen in the press. You know there's going to be hardships for those people. Why would you let your president say that?
Well, look, I don't recall significant discussions around some of the verbiage on this, to be 100% honest with you.
Do you agree it was a wrong move?
Oh, well, certainly. I mean, I don't think anybody dealing with this today finds what was said. Now, I do think some explanation in terms of the fact that policies that were in place at the point in which the president signed them were grandfathered in for this. Insurance companies have then changed those policies, and then they're not in the grandfathered set of insurance policies. So there certainly is some insurance company discussion that has to be had here as to why so many of these policies on the individual market change so quickly. But again, I do think you will have an understanding, and this is why the website is so important and why it has to get fixed sooner rather than later, and that is so many people in this individual market will find a better policy at a better price. They can't see that right now because the website's broken.
So Mike, for